Can we settle down, please? Can a person in the back please take your seat?
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I'm very happy to introduce to you Eunezia, who's from Crew, and she will be speaking to us about wildflowers and what we must look for when we're hiking in Magaliesberg, and how we can help with her research on the summer rainfall region. Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Hello, everyone. Um, yeah, it's nice to be here. I see that you are a very laid-back crowd. You see, I kind of feel like I'm a bit formal. Yeah, so as Jess introduced, I am the crew and BOTSOC coordinator for the summer rainfall region. So I think I'm just gonna give you my pointer. I have a pointer. Uh, okay, more? Okay, yeah, so I'll just give you a brief overview on who crew is, and I can't see my arrow. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so the South African SANBI is the country's biodiversity institute. So it has all these tiers. So we call it a hororandogram. So where does crew fall within this hororandogram? We would fall under the human well-being improvement service delivery job creation because of the citizen science part, but we also fall within the foundation because people go out into the field and collect data, which is then used by the assessment team. So if you have any idea of what the Red List website is, or the Red List of South Africa, that is where all the data collected by crew goes into, and then that data goes in, so all the assessment goes into, let me point, the assessment would go into science and policy, so your NBAs, and other ways that influences policy. So all the plans they refined go into the assessment. So assessment goes into policy. So you think about your EIA. If people want to build here, then you know that they cannot develop here because there are few threatened plants, or the vegetation type is threatened. So that's where the policy comes in. And then finally, the human capital development as well, which is SANBI giving back to the community, because we are a government entity at the end of the day. So what we do needs to go back to the community. Sorry, I think my slides are not changing. So I'm just gonna put it on presenter mode. Yeah, you can come. They're changing on the screen, but not on the screen. I don't think it's on presenter mode still. No? Oh, you can just come back here, it's fine. Okay. Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, sorry about that. So what crew does, so I just thought I'd give you a bit of background before I spill on what you guys can do. So we do surveys of taxa, we survey taxa of conservation concern. I'll get to that later to explain what that actually is. So how we do this is we go out into the field, We look for critical habitat species. So these are species that are found within a 10-kilometer radius. So they're kind of rare. And then range extension species. So these would be species that are found outside of their natural habitat. And then we have rediscovered species. So this weekend we were looking for Holothrix micranta. Jess was there, thank you for coming, which was last seen in 1925. We didn't find it, but if we were to find it, then it would be considered as rediscovered. And then tags are new to science. So the CFR team actually rediscovered a new species this weekend in the Eunezia genus here. So that's what we do, tags of conservation concern. And then we survey undersampled areas. So this would be us going out into a stewardship site or any site that we see has not been explored enough, and then we do bioblitzes there. We also do systematic sampling. So what we do is we ground truth what is on the vegetation map. So we go out, we see, is this vegetation still the same or has it been developed? We take photographs, then we upload onto iNaturalist, and then the VegMap team can then later use that for their assessments. So last year, because of citizen science, Crew has conducted over 400 field trips and 42 stewardship sites. And then, yeah, this is remarkable for just 1 year, and it could not be done without citizen scientists, which is why I am here to expand our network as well. Among that, we also do species reintroduction, seed collection. So the seeds that we collect, we submit to the Millennial Seed Bank. Since these are tags of conservation concern, I mean, if they do go extinct, then we know that we do have viable seeds there. And then response to illegal trade. So this will be the Conophytum project, just to prevent the illegal poaching of plants. And then there's another project that we support, which is the medicinal plant project, but I won't get too much into that. So now I am back here. What are tags of conservation concern? So in South Africa, we have over 20,000 species, plant species, of which just over 5,000 are considered tags of conservation concern. So those tags of conservation concern would be those that fall within the orange here, up to the gray. So the red, the threatened species would be your critically endangered, possibly extinct, like the Holothrix we were looking for. Critically endangered, and vulnerable. So these are your threat categories. But when we include all of these, near threatened, critically rare, declining, and extinct, then it's considered tags of conservation concern. So most of our tags of conservation concern are concentrated within these. See the darker the color here, that's where we have most of our species, and this is where we mainly monitor our plants. Okay, so that makes sense. So I'll be referring to tags of conservation concern. You will know what I'm talking about from now on. So why am I sharing this with Mountain Club people? So we have a lot, over 5,000 species. So out of those, 76 found in the Drakensberg are high altitude species. So you'd find them at least 1,500 to 3,000 meters above sea level. So that's pretty high, and not everyone can climb that high. And of these, 50 were observed, whilst 26 are not observed. So what does this mean? 50 means that they are already on iNaturalist, uploaded, observed on iNaturalist, and then 26 are not on iNaturalist. I don't know if this is luck, is this good or bad, or maybe Magaliesberg is underexplored, but there are only 8 tags of conservation concern. So I don't know, is it good, is it bad? So all of them have been observed except for one, which is Eulofia cordiae. I just put it here as, just to get you guys in the groove of things, because you like flowers and we all like flowers. So this is the only one that has not been uploaded onto iNaturalist, Eulofa Kodii. I put it here because it's flowering in November, and I thought you guys could go out and look out for it when you're out there. So it's not that it hasn't been recorded on iNat, it just hasn't been recorded in the Magaliesburg area. As you can see, most of the records are this Heidelberg Sekerbos area, but then it's said to also extend to Magaliesburg, and there are no observations there. So that's why I flagged it, so we can search and see if it really exists in Magaliesburg or maybe not. No. I would. What did I do? No, I don't know it because I don't know orchids. Not because it's not threatened. Yeah. You mean this here? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I will be sharing a list of species like this. As you saw, we have a lot in the Drakensberg area, but we do have others that you can look out for in the Magaliesberg area, even though they've been uploaded. But it is important for us to have conservation aware people to upload, and I'll show you why just now. So I will be sending out an ID sheet for this one, but later on we are thinking of creating like cards or booklets that you can easily take out or put in your pockets in the field, so you can see the plant and what it looks like, have a clear description, because some of the plants, unfortunately, we don't have pictures. We're relying on herbarium specimen or drawings. So yeah, we kind of have to give like a clear description of what it is. So that is the end of my PowerPoint presentation. I'll get into iNat now. Yes, please. The bad behavior. Oh.
So I
Yeah.
assume that's bad behavior. I assume it's people stealing plants from the wild and selling them. That may be a wrong assumption.
Possibly, but also the Fynbos area is biodiversity hotspot, so they probably just also want to protect most of the plants there because they are endemic, and if that whole area is wiped out or urbanized or whatever, then those species there will not be found anywhere else in the world. So maybe some of them could be poaching, some of them could just be that they are endemic and they will not, if we lose their habitat, we won't find them anywhere else.
Thanks. That's a great explanation. That's what I was trying to understand. That.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But it's worth researching. Don't take my word for it. Yeah. Okay. So on to iNaturalist and why we need conservation-aware people to be the ones on the lookout. So I'm gonna. I know that Stefan did a brilliant iNat presentation, which is why I'm not taking you guys from scratch and explaining everything, but I'm just gonna kind of add on to what he said the last time. Okay, I'm gonna put the pointer down. So this feature is what you would use. So we usually say that the app is your field guide, and then the website is where the magic happens. So you use the explore feature to literally explore, and there's this amazing filter tool, and you can filter however way you want. So you can literally just write butterfly and put a person like Tam. I want to see Tam's observations. You can put a project. I want to see her threatened plants. I want to see her observations in around Johannesburg, and I only want to see plants. So you would click that there, or yeah. Yeah, and you can also filter by the exact date. So if you want to see your observations for that particular day or range, so between for this weekend or for this month, even here, this one is not year specific. It's just going to be January throughout the years. It's nice because you can track trends for a certain species, like when does, flowering time, phenology, and all of those things. And we have the identify tool. With those who have a lot of plant knowledge, we would love for you to use it and identify plants for us. And you can also download all the data that you have filtered out. So I'll just do a step-by-step thing. So the first, let's do this. So there's community, which will show you, let me close this. Please stop me at any point. We don't have to wait until the end. There's people, so you can search people. You can search projects. You can click here for projects, journal posts, or forum, but you can also use the search tool for projects. So if you haven't joined this project yet, please join it. The South African Red List, Plants and Animals. So this project will generally tell you whether the species that you have uploaded will give you the threat category for that species. So it's called an umbrella project. When it comes up, you will see. So we have two types of projects, umbrella projects and collections projects. So an umbrella project houses a whole lot of other projects underneath it, and then the collections project will be like a single project, like this one. The South African Red List Plants and Animals is an umbrella project, whilst the different categories will qualify as collections project. So the collections projects fall under the umbrella project. So it's literally like a person holding an umbrella and then people underneath that umbrella. So you join this project, you click join here, and then you join also these subsequent collections projects underneath it as well. So when you join this project, it will ask if you want the managers or admins of the project, if you want to trust them with your coordinates, and you would click yes, because this is used by the Red List team to access information. So if you hide the locations, they will not be able to see it. You can hide it for other people, but for the Red List team, please, for this project, please make it available. And then the next project that you want to join is the Red List as Africa project, when it comes up. Okay. So why is it important to join this project? It is because, unlike the South African Red List Plants and Animals, this one it's not automatic. So you won't, your observations is not automatically added to the project. So you need to add additional information on this project. So when you upload, first you join this project, and again, you trust the managers or the admins of this project with your coordinates. So when you upload an observation, I think maybe I should do an example of that. I'm gonna go to my observations. Okay, we'll do this one. So when you upload here, it's going to ask you a couple of questions which will assist the Red List team in getting more information about that plant. I'm just going to use this one, otherwise we'll be here forever. Okay, so this one is obviously not a threatened or tags of conservation concern, because if it was, then it would appear here. No, okay, maybe I should just show you a threatened plant. Um, okay. We'll use this one. There. Can you guys see, or do you want me to point at it? So it'll appear like this. That is because I joined. For if you can't see, it's here at the top. So it shows you the status of that plant, and that's how you will know that it is threatened or not, or if it's a tax of conservation concern. You saw on the last one that it didn't have this. It just had a star to show that it's endemic. So this happens because I joined the South African Red List Plants and Animals project, and then the Near Threatened project. Yes. Yeah, that's good. See now, did you upload it? Okay. See now, I'm gonna give you homework. So okay. I also haven't added it, so I will add it to the red list because it's not automatic. Red list as Africa project, and then you will have all these prompts pop up. So it's asking the population size. He said there were hundreds and thousands of them. So we'll go with P, hundreds and thousands. Yeah. It's a good thing because it's this species is highly harvested for medicinal use, so it's a good thing. So population, so you have the population size estimates, hundreds and thousands. How many did you see when you were there? Did you see 50? Did you only see one and then you walked and you didn't see any? That is important. And then population size and extent. So in your space, where you were, was it a 200 by 200 where you only saw one, or 100 by 100 meter and you only saw one, or in the whole reserve of 20,000 hectares you literally only saw one species? So you write, it's basically an estimate. You don't have to be accurate. You can just kind of guess, and then you would put that here. Let's say it was 400 meters. I don't know. You have to click add, and then population threats. What were the threats? Is it invasive species? Elephants? Elephants are a real threat. Is it humans? You know, are they always walking? If maybe it's on the side of the road? Is it litter? What are the threats for this plant? So you would write that down. We will put elephants. And then you add. And then habitat. If you don't know the habitat, you can leave it because it doesn't have an asterisk, so it's not a must that you add. So you can, usually this is found on a grassland. Okay, so it's grassveld. So I'll just, yeah. So, I mean, I'll also show you, kind of. I'll just send a link. So if you want to know the type of vegetation that you are in, you can download the Carry map on your phone, and then you put the veg map on there, and then it will, it's if your location is on, it works like a GPS. So where you are, you can zoom in, and it'll tell you that you are in granite grassland, or you are in whatever low veld. So it also, you can put this here. And then if you have a specimen, then you will write the specimen number. Although we don't collect a lot anymore, unless it's a new species or one that hasn't been seen in a long time. But if you did collect a specimen, then you would put a voucher number here, and then you add to project. I will not add because all of this information is incorrect. So you will, yeah, like, so you add to project. So when the Red List team is assessing this, they will see all of this information and obviously compare it with other information to use it for their assessments, you know, to decide if there are hundreds and thousands of Mervelia, maybe we don't need it. Maybe we can downgrade the status. It's no longer near threatened, but it's just, you know, I don't know what, yeah, but it's not, we can relax. You don't have to worry that much about it. Okay, do we have any questions here? No, okay, so 2 important projects, South African Red List, plants and animals, and then you join all these projects. It's not a lot. You join all these projects underneath it, and then you join the South African Red List Plants and Animals Project. Yes, Tam.
So if you see that your flower is on the near threatened or rare or any of those, then that's when one needs to make sure you add it manually to the red list is South
Yes.
Africa,
Yes.
and then fill in that box.
That is correct.
So you don't need to fill in that box for normal plants and things. It's just
No, not
for
really.
ones where you see that it's one of
Yes.
those categories.
Yes. You don't need to fill in for all the others. So only for the ones that you see are tags of conservation concern. So if you are now hiking in Magaliesberg, you see the Eulofia, and you would be the first one in a while, probably. Or you'll be the first one to make an observation on iNat. So you will take that in, so you upload, it will tell you that it's vulnerable, and then you take that, even because it's Eulofia, then you will know that, okay, I need to be mindful of this. You will probably count, like, oh, I saw 20 of them, you put that in, and it was in the space. But sometimes you're in the field, and you're just seeing a pretty flower, you take a photo, you don't know that it's a tags of conservation concern, and then you come and upload it, and like, oh, it's actually a special plant. And then sometimes you don't know, but you can try to remember. You know how when you see one plant, you kind of see it, so you'll kind of estimate if maybe you saw 10 or 20. You don't have to be exact. So that does happen as well, where you're just taking a picture of a plant. Okay, so are we fine with the Red List projects? The Red List projects. Okay, so now I'm going to use your Mountain Club project as an example. I know Jack is going to tell you about this later, but actually, no, I won't. We'll use Magaliesberg as an example of these different features. Magaliesberg. Okay. Okay. So say now, now I'm showing you how to use these filters. I know that I just brushed over them. So now you were in Magaliesberg hiking, and you were with your friends, and you want to find out which species are threatened here. You can just search for the project. And then when it comes up, we will see how many threatened. But remember, these are plants and animals. So there are 63 threatened species in the Magaliesberg area. We can filter. We just want to see plants. It doesn't want us to see plants. So 26. I believe there's more. You just need to keep on exploring. Only observed. Yeah. Hence I'm saying the more you go there and just make observations, you will add on to this list, basically. So that's how you would use the filter. If you want to see for a specific date, you will put the date. I'm not sure which date to use, because what if there are no observations? So I'm going to go way, way back. I'll go with March 7th. Nothing. Okay. A weekend. Okay, nothing. Yeah. Anyway, but you get the idea of how you would use these filters. You can also download, so you just click on download. For those who are doing research, this is how you would download your data. So you've filtered, you've done all of your filters, and then you can download all of your data. So you just click on create export, and then you'll be able to download. Okay, so those are the filters. I'm gonna go back and show you how to create a place. So say you went to a site and you come back, you want to see what you observed there, but then it's not on iNaturalist. So you can get a hold of the landowner if you can, but then if it's like a municipal site, maybe you can ask me and I'll share a boundary for that site. Or you can draw it for yourself on Google Earth Pro. Okay, and then you can add a new place. So here you will type the name of the place, an example, Robin Park, for example. Type a place name, still Robin Park. Oh, Robin Hill. Oh my goodness. Oh, but that's England, sorry. I'm gonna change that. So the parent place would be either the region, like where that open space, yeah, Randburg, Joburg, Gauteng, you know. It's nice to start small, so start with Joburg instead of putting South Africa. So just, yeah, so maybe let's try Gauteng. And then you would upload your KML. Excuse me. You will upload your KML file, which was the map of that place. And then you must specify what type of a place it is, a city building, an airport. We just normally go with open space because it's usually an open space. You want to allow checklists, and then you save the place. So then it will appear on iNat, and then all your observations will be there. And then now that you've created a place, you can create a project for that place. So you would come here, project, and then start a project. You can't create a project if you have less than 50 observations. So you need to have more observations. So you can either create, like I mentioned earlier, an umbrella project or a collections project. It's up to you. So if that place, like the Mountains Club people, you want to have a Mountains Club project, but then you kind of also want to have specific sites to say Mountains Club, Magaliesburg, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Drakensberg, and all. You can have those individual projects underneath that, which is, so you will start with the collections project. You get started, you put your project name, MCS. Oh my God.
So we could actually take each of our properties.
Yes, that is correct.
So each property could then be a separate
Project.
collection.
Yes. Yeah, so you can do that. And you can, it's what they do for the GSB and City Nature Challenge. So, should I show you an example of that? Okay. Anyway, let me finish here. I'm going to sneeze again, so please excuse me. I can feel it coming. So you will put the name, let's say Joburg. And then project summary. God, sorry. So project summary will mainly be the purpose of the project, you know, like Mountain Club people collecting data or observations, whatever it is that you want to put on there, you can write that. You can put a project icon, So literally a profile picture for your project and a banner. So what you see on the background of most projects. You can change the color as well. Excuse me, sorry guys. And then you can exclude tags you can exclude cats, cows, domestic animals, humans, unless you want them there, but you exclude them. And then the place that we created, you will add it here. It will appear here in that name that you created in. So we created Robin. It obviously won't appear, but let's assume we created it. Robin Hill. I'm going to put this England one as an example, so that it'll appear there. But if your boundary includes block 1, like your property is different properties that are not one block. So like these colors here. I don't know if you all can see, but I don't know, I'm using the floor as an example. So you have a block here. Let's say this projector is your property and the speaker, and then you have this space in the middle. Obviously, you can't include someone's property there. So you want, let's say, the projector is Robin, and then the speaker will be our next site. I'm just going to write speaker. And then it appears here. We'll use this one, whatever it is. So we use that. That will be the boundaries for this particular project. And then if you want to be specific about the users, you can put their usernames here. Otherwise, anyone can can add their observations there. Or you will have observations of people who join the project. If you're not part of the project, then the observations will not be added. So these are the type of projects you can put casual, but we want mainly, I know Stefan mentioned this, we want things that are from the wild, which is why iNat was made. And then you can put a time limit or not. A timestamp will be, we want this project to run for 1 year, we want this project to run just for a couple of months. You can put that. If it's not necessary, then leave it. And then you will have your project.
So that would be like the city vibe.
Yes.
So that would have a time span.
Yes.
Just that weekend.
Just that weekend. You can do that also for yourselves if you want. You're going out on a hike and you just want, like hype it up, have a weekend thing. You can have a project specifically for that. And then you click on done, and then you will have your project. I'm going to go back. So once this project is created, and now you want to add it to your umbrella project. So you start with the collections project, and then to your umbrella project, which will be Mountain Club South Africa in general, not SA. You put the banners, the whole shebang, the stories here. It's an umbrella. So here you will include those projects that you created. So I'm going to use my projects that I've created as an example. Okay, I'll just use this project. And this project, you see, so this will, and this one. Okay, so this will be my umbrella project, and then I click on done, and then the project is there. So if you want to add admins and you don't want to be the only one managing that project, the people whom you want to be admins of this project must join the project, and then you will add them here. Only after they've joined the project. See, I can't even click. So only after they've joined the project, you can make them admins, which means they can delete, they can add posts. So there are these things called journal posts, so they can add all of that information there. Okay. Do we have questions on projects before I show you an example? No questions. Okay. I'm going to use I like the search feature. So we'll use the Great Southern BioBlitz. Anytime now. Yeah, I'm just going to pick a random. Oh, there's Southern Africa. Okay. Okay. See, this is the banner that you would put the. Let me point. The banner that we just saw there, the profile picture. It's not called the profile picture, it's called an icon, project icon, then the name of the project, and then the stories that you write there, and then, yeah, you have your project. So this one is an umbrella project, as you can see. It's the Great Southern Bioplace, and then it has all of these places underneath it. Let me just scroll here so you can see. So you have your Overstrand, Pondoland, Garden Route. I'm trying to find Johannesburg. There's Johannesburg. You didn't do too bad. It's not bad either. We had horrible weather. It was raining that whole weekend. So this was us over here. So yeah, so you didn't do bad. So this is how your umbrella projects would appear with the mountain club stories there, if that's what you want. All the different properties, if you want to create it for yourself or whatever reason it is you want to have a project. And then you can click on it as a single project, which is now a collections project, which also looks similar. It has the stories, it has the background and everything. And this is what your, yeah, number 2. So this is what you would normally see. All the tags are excluded, the different locations. So they didn't just write Gauteng, but they included the district within Joburg. Well, these are locations within Gauteng for this project. And then any users, yeah, and any project can be a part of this. And there's the timestamp there, if you guys can see it. And then this is what it looks like on the map. So with yours, with the it's just going to look like this wherever you put your boundary. So you can create this for yourself, and then if you want to be admin, you join, and then they will make you admin for that project. So you'll be able to see everything. And then you can see, I can't write the journals, but whoever created the project or the admin of the project will be able to share like journal entries for that particular project. Like, oh, we're going out this weekend, we came back, this is what we saw, so many people joined. So kind of like a social media thing or status, I don't know how to, a normal journal entry basically. So this is projects, if you want to create more projects. And yeah, I don't know if we have questions, iNat related questions. Yes, there's a question there at the back.
I just had a question about, is there a tutorial on iNaturalist? Because there's quite a lot of detail that you've told us about.
Oh, okay.
Is there
Yes. There are tutorials. If you click on more, there's video tutorials. So these are actually nice tools that you can use getting started, understanding projects. So you can download them as PDFs, if I'm not mistaken. And then the video tutorials take you to YouTube.
Thanks, that's great.
Yeah, so there's understanding iNat, understanding projects. So these are PDF files that you can download and read. Probably more palatable than what I've just said. And then let's see the video tutorials. Okay. How to make an observation, iNat, identifiable photos. So these are the resources that they have. But I mean, if you have any questions, I'm always happy to assist if maybe the videos or the PDFs are not doing you any justice. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I think I've many questions just because I'm new to this, but I'll try to ask two only.
Okay.
So I think you kind of mentioned it. So my understanding is it is basically a social media platform. You can have your own profile, build your own database of what you've observed, and you can also take part in other people's projects or the club's project, or if there's a weekend thing. So it's kind of free for all in terms of adding information to the database.
Yeah.
And then, do I need to know what I look at or take a picture of? If I upload a picture, will the platform basically tell me what it is?
Yes. So the nice thing about iNat, Stefan, last time he was here, he told you guys about Seek, which is like your normal identifier app. So you take a photo and it gives you an identification instantly. But the nice thing about the iNaturalist app is that you can upload, and then AI will try to give you suggestions if you based on where you are. If you're not sure, leave it at genus level. If you're not even sure about that, just write plant or bird, butterfly, snake, write something so that the experts in that field can be able to find your observation instead of leaving it as unknown. So then people will come and verify your observation. So it's not like, identifying blindly. There needs to be people to confirm your observation. So you don't need to know it. You just see a species, an organism, you take a photo of it, and then you wait for other people to identify it for you. Just don't leave it blank. If you don't trust any, that with the suggestions, you can compare the different, if this one looks like what you posted. If it doesn't, just write bird and leave it like that. Other people will come and identify it for you. You can also tag people to say, hey, can you come and help? If you see that this person identifies a lot of birds, you can say at Eunezia, come and please help with this bird. I found it. You can give details as well. I found it at this place and that place, nesting or whatever, and then they can identify it for you. It actually helps a lot to tag the people. How do you know who to tag? So when you post, I'm gonna come back here. You can see the top identifiers, and you can just try to tag any of those people. Maybe start with number 1. Yeah, start with them, and then Graham is also good. Yeah, and Tony. Anyway, anyone who responds, just start with the one with the highest, and then at Sedge's Rock, please help identify the species. I'm not sure what it is. It also helps to take photos at different angles because you don't know what they need. You might be taking a photo of the leaf, but that particular genus, all the leaves are basically the same, and it's the flowers that distinguishes them. So you don't need to know, if that answers your question. Yes. Do we have any more questions? Okay, if that is the case, I think I'm gonna end it here. I kind of don't want to overwhelm you all with information, and I just want us to be excited. Just keep the Eulofia in your head, Yeah, just keep that. So when you go to Magaliesburg, I'm gonna share a proper ID sheet for now, since we haven't printed out anything yet. It's gonna be a PDF, and then you can just have it on your phone, but then at least species that you can look out for. And yeah, I'm happy that you guys are willing to, join the crew family, and yeah, it's very nice. Okay, yeah, that is it from me. Thank you all. I'm gonna hand over to Jack.
I'm going to find my project. Leave your thing here, and then I'm going to find my project. We'll find the mountain club. Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Jacques. I'm a member of both the mountain club and crew. So I can tell you it's lots of fun to go out with Eunezia and find plants in the middle of nowhere. So yes, so Eunezia is just bringing up our project. So you've had a bit of an introduction to projects. The mountain club project, we've
put together in a particular way right now. I think Tam has some ideas, and we'll do some changes and additions. But the way it works right now is you can see that's Tam and all of us when we were looking for the Allopegleri one weekend. Then there's a bit of a description that it was started by the Johannesburg section, but it's for observations for everyone in the mountain club. The way this project works is that it's based not on area but on people. So we need people to actually join the club, this project. So you'll send a request and it'll go through. At the moment there are 3 admins. It's myself and Tam and Kim. Eunezia, we probably need to add you so that we have we've got all the representatives. So please join our project, because if you and you can join multiple projects. So joining one project doesn't mean you're excluded from another. But if you join this project, and we have, how many people, 13 people have joined. So we obviously need more mountain clubbers. And then all the observations that you do will be added to this project. And the way that Kim is going to work, so she's our researcher down at Rhodes that's looking at bush encroachment and invasive species, is she'll actually use that map feature that Eunezia was explaining. So she'll superimpose the maps of the areas that she's interested in, and then any observations that you've taken anywhere in South Africa, if they fall within her map. So maybe she's just looking at the Drakensberg this time, or maybe she's looking at some of the Cape Fold Mountains, or maybe she's looking at Magaliesberg. So any observations that you make for this project will come up. So we're looking for bush encroachment, we're looking for alien species, and we're looking for any of the nice species, the flowers, the plants that you might find. So basically anything that you see that's botanical, that you're interested in, take a photo and it'll be loaded up into this project. So we're just, encouraging people. You can see there, who was taking those? That's not a botanist, no. That's you, excellent. So now we have some insectae in there as well. I know that some, I've got my qualification is an insect, so I've also got some insects in there. There are not as many insect observers, I have to say. Many more plant observers. And then the other thing to note is to just be quite cautious when you do find a species that's maybe vulnerable or threatened or whatever. So as I said, I have gone on a number of expeditions with crews. So specifically, we're sometimes looking for endangered species. And I've had 1 or 2 people reach out to me in a private message. The last one was, oh, I'm so-and-so, and I'm writing a plant of the week story, and I noticed that your observations of X, Y, and Z don't have a location, because if you join that red list project, and your species is a red list, endangered, critical, whatever, vulnerable species, it will obscure the location. So this person texted me and said, hi, I'm doing a plant of the week for my magazine, and I really want to know where you found this. So do not respond. I did not respond. Like, I really don't believe this person's doing a plant of the week and they want to know where this plant is. What they want to do is they want to dig it up and sell it to some collector. So just be aware that when you do find these more rare species, that you just need to be a little bit cautious about sharing that information. The system will automatically hide it, particularly if you've joined the Red List project, but just be a bit cautious on that.
So what happens if you upload it and you don't know what it is? You don't know that it's rare.
Well, then they won't know it either, because they're searching on the species name. So you'll put up plant or bird or whatever, and I have done that before, and people do find them and identify them, but they're going to go on the species name. So they'll look on that.
So that means that once it's gotten to genus or species, it then becomes obscured. Up until then, it's not obscured.
Yes. But can you imagine, if you are a person, and I mean, maybe an AI tool could look through all of the observations and found this one, but that's not going to be very, not good pickings. So it's only once it's at that genus level or species level that they'll look for it, or that they'll be able to find it. So they were able to find it, to see that I'd observed it, but it was obscured, so they couldn't see where it was. And it's quite a wide area, so they would need to know a bit more detail. And we did find this particular species next to the side of the road. So I was very grateful that it was obscured, because they could just drive down the road and dig it up if they found it. And we do have in South Africa, we have a huge, huge problem. You saw a bit of a mention it on the bottom of one of Eunezia's slides with succulents in particular that are being poached from everywhere. So the system will automatically protect that. Okay, that's me. Mine's short and sweet. But please, please, please join our Mountain Club of South Africa project so that your observations can be added. And then Tam and I will no doubt be making things more specific so that we can have some collection projects underneath. I can't remember whether I made this as I think I made this one as an umbrella. I can't remember. But we'll have to work out, because then this one would be the umbrella project and then all the others would be sitting underneath it. And it's very exciting because, as Eunezia said, there's lots of places that people can't go. I was at a conference and they were saying, like, we need to know more about the plants that are on the cliffs. And I'm like, well, I know some people who might be halfway up a cliff. Cool. Thanks very much.
Thank you for giving us this. This is my favorite gift. This is honey from Melville, which is where I live. There's a lady there who makes the honey, and it has a definite grassland flavor. It is so delicious.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and she's actually an expert in bees. Not specifically the honeybee, although she does love her honeybees, but solitary bees. So I'm going to see if before she leaves down to Claremont whether we can get her to give a talk on solitary bees. So we need more insects, don't we? Yeah, I think that's not just only plants, but this is... thousands, yes. I think in South Africa, 2,500 species. I'm probably wrong though.
We just like to identify some of those we find in our garden.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes, yes. So we're looking forward to the PDFs to see what and where we need to be looking for. Thank you, Eunezia. Super. Thank you.